All right, let's do
All
this.
right, Alec, welcome back. It's another Chance Time episode. Here we are.
It is. It's chance time. Chance in the Chancingtons
Yeah,
of the Disney Channel this
yeah.
time around.
If you aren't aware what Chance Time is, we have a little series where we spin a wheel that I have right here, actually. Hold on. A big physical wheel,
Whoa!
and the wheel will
The
have
huge wheel.
a bunch of movies on it, and then it's basically randomized movies completely from a bunch of different streaming services. And then whatever one comes up, we have to watch and review the following week. And last time it picked Cowbells on Disney Plus for us to review. Here we are.
It was just a couple of guys watching Cowbells.
Cowbells.
The decom
It's the
from
Cowbells
2006, I
kind of
believe.
night, gentlemen. 2006. Yep. And now we're gonna do a new thing for reviews in general on the channel starting this year. I'm gonna try it out, see how it goes. A little thing I had. Got these paddles. I sent one to Alec, and there's one for me.
Yeah, I got a paddle here.
They're dry erase paddles on both sides. It's dry erase. Pretty cool. So we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna do this thing called gut check. All right, at the beginning, we're close to the beginning of the review. We'll reveal what our gut says we would give the score for this movie, and then basically we'll go through the review like we normally do, discussing it, and then if we have a change of heart, we can switch it at the end, or it could stay the same. Because a lot of times we've gone through reviews where it's like, oh god, changing it already.
No, I'm not changing it. So I had a couple different options on there, but to me, I think the spirit of a gut check is the
Yeah,
first reaction, not a question.
but we've
So
had plenty of
I'm just
reviews where we've said like the discussion, us talking about it, has either brought us up or down on certain things. So
hmm
just interested to
yep.
see how it goes.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna reveal the same time here.
I think so. Yeah.
All right, three, two, one.
I actually can't see what yours says.
All right, hold on. I get it for them
Is that
first.
three?
That's a three.
That's a three. I've got. Okay,
Five point
mine's quite a
five.
bit
All
higher.
right.
Surprisingly higher.
Let's
I didn't like this movie though at all.
oh, let's erase our just so we don't know like if whether we erased
Yeah.
or not means we're changing it. You know. All
Okay.
right. All right.
All right.
So
Well,
yeah, I didn't.
interesting.
I didn't
Interesting.
like the spirit of a decom to me. Like I have a lot of fun with Disney Channel original movies, but this one lacked that like that same charm and fun. It was actually like not fun for the most
It was
part.
kind of hard to watch for a lot of it. I would say for like the good first 45 minutes of this movie were just very difficult to even begin to start
Just
making it through.
overboard with the spoiled daughters thing. You got our two main characters are so spoiled, and you got the dad who gives them whatever they want. And I always like telling these movies, it's like, you know what, now you're gonna start taking some responsibility. Like you're
Yeah.
late into your teenage years, and I'm just now
Yeah,
gonna
it's like
start.
15, the 15, 16. Come on, Dad. What the heck are you doing?
Yeah, it's like it's like, all right, I'll only do a $25,000 budget for this party. He's like, all right,
Yeah, what the
deal.
heck is that? What is that? Oh, okay. Well, it's like you didn't really teach them anything. You didn't cut anything off. Like you would have expected, like the typical dad in those most movies would be like, "All right, well, I'm cutting you off entirely. Like no party until you show
Yeah.
that you've like I'm not giving you any money until you show that you are responsible to be able to do like have a party."
hmm
But no, he's just like, "Yeah, I'll still allot that amount of money for that because, whatever."
But no, they got to fuck up a few times before he was ultimately, all right, now I'm gonna put you to work at my dairy factory.
So I think the parts of this movie that I think I liked, and that's why I think to me the reason that I even have it that high at all. So I have a massive soft spot for like rural life, right? Like my mom grew up on a farm. Most of like historically, I'm gonna say like my family was almost all farmers up until like more recently. It's probably honestly the same in your family tree. Like throughout most of human history, most people are farmers of some
Well, yeah.
kind. Like that's just a normal profession. But specifically dairy farmers. My grandfather, my mom's dad, was a dairy farmer, and they had a dairy farm in Jersey back when he was much younger, and then moved up
Mm-hmm.
into Vermont to run a farm. So I liked all of like the dairy aspects of stuff. Like it's funny because like big dairy is like is like was like a legit thing in the '90s, and this almost felt like a weird like spillover from some of
Mm-hmm.
that, where it's like, look at all this yogurt, the yogurt we're making, and it's gonna benefit society. There's a little bit of that, and this sort of running over still, which is kind of funny. But
Well, can you speak to?
yeah, I just
Can you speak to? Do cows? Do they not? Do they want privacy when they're giving birth?
that was one thing I was like, they don't care. They're gonna give birth no matter what.
Like, I assume it's just a
They're gonna give
joke, but
birth.
maybe they actually want.
Yeah, it was just kind of a joke. I think usually from my knowledge of farms, usually a farmer will bring the cow that's pregnant when she is prepping to give birth. Usually will set her aside from other cows,
Yeah, in a separate little area.
just to give her some space for it. So it was a little odd actually that they hadn't kicked the bull out already. Come to
Right.
think of it, like
So maybe.
most farmers would
Yeah.
try to give the cow some privacy.
Mm.
Well, like you think most mammals, like cat, you think of like cats or dogs, they'll usually go somewhere private to give birth.
Yeah.
Somewhere they feel comfortable. Cats will typically go somewhere like their bed, but it's like out of your sight to go give birth. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think there's a legitimate, like, it's an extremely vulnerable position for them to be in, and they understand that.
All right.
So
Yeah. There you go. So yeah, in the beginning they put him to work. Well, I mean, they start the movie off with her doing her little drive-in test, and of course, they want to make you turned off by this character immediately. but very.
that's the thing. It's actually what I kept asking the whole time. It's like, were they trying to make them as unlikable as possible?
Yeah, I don't
Because
know.
they
Yeah.
succeeded at that, but it's like they gave them like almost any redeeming characteristics until the one girl
Mhm.
like started to actually start feeling for some people other than herself.
Right. Well, I mean, the main girl definitely was a lot more proactive about changing herself than the second sister.
Yeah,
Courtney is the
yeah, the
second
younger
one.
sister.
Who was the first one?
Mm.
I mean, she the main one seemed to have a lot more redeeming qualities until it took a long time for the second one to even give a little bit. She was still getting upset about this damn party,
Yeah.
this dance. What was
This
it?
dance. Her
Cotillion? Cotillion?
yeah, her cotillion, something. I don't even know what that is. I've never heard of that before in my life. A cotillion is a social dance popular in the 18th century Europe and North America.
Mr.
So
Cotillion.
okay, so that's why it's like a country club. So yeah, cotillion, whatever.
But yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, so they fucked, like, she basically scammed her way to pass
it's
the
Taylor.
driver's test.
Taylor is her name.
Taylor.
We have Taylor and Courtney.
So Taylor scammed her way to pass the driver's test, and then Dad gives her a car.
Yeah, just gives her a car. Like, okay, I thought he was gonna like say something about like you ruined that other car with that sticker. Like, why did you do that?
Mhm.
But you didn't even say. You didn't really care all that much.
And then,
Um,
but then they started a damn fire in the house. So I was like, geez, they just left after she threw the little rag on the. They completely forgot about the
Yeah.
food immediately, threw the thing on there, and I was like, okay, we're
yeah,
gonna
I
come
saw
back
that
with a
coming.
complete house lost here. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Are we gonna like lose the whole house? That'd be kind of epic. Like all of a sudden they have to like, oh no, we lost our whole like $1 million house, multi-million-dollar house. Oh no, we're poor now. Like I was thinking they were gonna do something like that, but no, they didn't. It was just like,
No, that's The Greatest Showman.
oh, it's just a minor. It was just a minor house fire.
Yeah,
Just a minor house fire.
yeah, it was almost like a little
And,
like, okay, now we're gonna start. I'm gonna start giving you some responsibility. It's like actually not
I also
not
love-
much consequences from that whole thing. Like the fire didn't spread
Yeah.
far at all for them leaving it.
No, it's like you're gonna have to go work on the dairy, and it's like, why weren't they doing that already? Why didn't you have them do that? Like I don't know, like
Because they were
3 years
spoiled
ago.
brats their whole life.
Like like it's like, oh well, they have to be. It's almost like Disney was like, well, they got to be 16 because we don't want to imply that there's child labor laws being broken. And I'm like, Disney, do you know like how family businesses work and like how, you know, children are usually children are interested, or they at least maybe they want to sort of help out.
Well,
Maybe they're
yeah.
compelled because they want to spend time with dad at the business, and so it's like,
But we got a
I don't
sense of
know.
their
It's just
personalities. We got a sense of what they like. They only care
yeah,
about the material things, of course. And then the father
yeah.
is a big enabler. So I think
He is a
kind
pretty
of
big
fits.
enabler.
Kind of fits that like he would spoil them and have them not have to do anything for as long as possible. Until it's like, okay, now you messed this up. You started a fire. Now you can start working. But
Well, it was kind of what was also sort of weird. Like the movie just starts with it being like, I'm giving you money to go on vacation as well, and it's like, oh,
yeah,
what? I was
yeah.
like, he didn't question that at all. I immediately was like, okay, this something's going on here. Something's up with this because it's like you don't just hand somebody be like, no, no, go away, go on vacation.
Get
This
out of
is, this is a
here.
once in a lifetime thing. Get out of here,
I
get
know. I
going.
was wondering what sinister thing he had planned though. I'm like, what are you trying to do
Yeah,
here? But it's interesting how that
it
unfolds.
was.
But I will
Yeah,
say,
oh, it's interesting. It's interesting how that unfolds.
yeah,
That's a statement of the century right there.
I will say the
It doesn't.
first,
It just happens all off screen.
yeah,
It's awful. It's so bad. Yeah.
I will say their
Um.
first day on the job, they were really fucking up that yogurt, man. They were
Oh my god.
like,
Yeah, they
oops,
kept like
ah.
sticking their hands. They kept sticking their hands in the yogurt.
And like,
Like
oh,
I was
that
like,
one's
what are
not
you
good
doing?
anymore. All right.
Yeah, it's like you're ruining all these tubs of yogurt. What is wrong with you?
It's so funny this
sickos?
work they do, like as if you would take these two sisters and say you guys work together and just like do your own thing. It's like
Yeah.
you get them separated and actually have someone there showing them how to do it. You don't just leave them to
That's
go.
kind of what I. That's what I thought they were gonna do. They were gonna like split up. One was like gonna do something like be on the line of like, okay, if you're putting, which to me, okay, I get their argument for like dad didn't want to automate everything, and I'm like, I think there's parts of this job that if you bought a machine to like do that, you're not losing out on that many jobs. Do you need like 15 people to be on that line?
There were a lot of people doing
lids?
different things, like
There was
move
there was
this over
like
here.
four people. There was like four people on that thing, like putting lids on. I'm like, what? Come on.
Nope.
It's like, okay, you're freeing like a couple of jobs, but like,
Spoiler alert, at the end he says, as long as I'm in business, every single one of you will have a job. He made that promise.
he did make that
Big
promise.
words.
That's pretty amazing.
So
That's pretty amazing.
now he's
But
put himself
just-
in a corner. He can't progress at all. He can't do
I-
any sort of automation.
I also would like to point out a few other things about this man, who seems to be a lot more sinister the more you kind of think about it. So
The
he's
father?
like a multi-millionaire.
Mhm.
He's a multi-millionaire. He can afford to do all of these things for his daughter. He can afford to just skip the country and go on a trip and leave his business partner in charge without a whole lot of time. Like he doesn't inform the company that hey or anything. He's just like, hey, I gotta spend time away. He just like leaves.
Yeah.
He apparently is an extremely generous and charitable person, and yet we have multiple people that work at this factory claiming that they live paycheck to paycheck.
hmm Well, the problem is that he has to keep
Hoarding
everybody.
wealth.
Well, no, the problem is he has to keep everybody employed, and not. He doesn't want to automate anything, so he has an excess amount of employees, and then can only pay them.
But he keeps a
just
lot of
enough
that
to get
wealth
by.
for himself.
Right?
No.
That's very true.
He can't kick back some of that to the. I mean, so as the plot continues,
Yeah.
as Taylor sort of learns her lessons, she actually learns to be like maybe kick back a little bit of the money that she's been getting, and spends that on you know, on some of the people. So but going back to another thing that I also really liked about the movie was just why was there wasn't a single adult in this movie that I'm like, wow, they're a really good role model for these kids.
Hmm.
They're all just kind of miserable,
Not Fran.
which feels a little bit like I don't know, maybe too realistic for a Disney movie where everyone's just kind of an ass for no reason.
What about Fran? Fran was pretty good.
Was she the lady? She was the lady that invited them over for pizza, right?
Yep, lead singer of the Dairy Band. That was rough.
Don't
That was
even
a
get me
rough
started.
watch.
That was pretty rough. It was pretty rough. I mean, it's
Actually, it
just the
was
song. The song they sang was awful. It was just one of the worst things I've ever heard.
as that scene in the break room was unfolding. I was starting to get depressed. I don't know. It was something about
Yeah, and I was like, this is kind of fun entertainment. And then I was like, oh, what is this song?
it.
I will say this is the song. This is a song. This is a song in a movie that is starring the two girls that wrote hit Disney what is it, Radio Disney song, Potential Breakup Song, which is actually like a pretty great song.
I don't know.
All things considered. Have you never heard that?
No.
It's pretty good, actually. It's kind of a banger. Yeah.
Okay.
But
I thought it was
it's very
the,
like
but
mid
that,
2000s.
but that
But
scene
anyway.
with the musical thing, and I always thought it was so funny how this one guy who was really like, this band's for real working folks. You're better off joining the Pretenders, and it's like, he's constantly making these little one-liners about like, oh, what are
Yeah.
you gonna sell your solid golden car?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah, that guy, the sarcastic guy was like my favorite. I was like,
like-
all right, this loser just can't help but
But I found it
talk
funny
down to
how
children. It's
every
great.
every single person in that break room was like was laughing about, even when we got to that scene where it was like she wanted to get money for it, but it's like, geez.
Let's bully actual children.
Mhm.
No one actually feels like a bully. They just felt like they're fed up with daddy's little girls doing everything and fucking up the
Right.
line and doing all kinds of
Come on,
nonsense.
fucking everything up. Yeah.
They really were.
And then Christian Serratos was in this. She was, if you're a Walking Dead fan,
Yes.
you'll know her.
Yeah.
Uh,
I know her from Ned's. Ned's Classified.
is she in that too?
Because she's Susie Crabgrass,
Oh.
Ned's love interest.
Oh, I didn't even remember that.
And yeah.
But this is baby.
She's great.
Christian
She was just like
Serratos.
random. Yeah, she was
Yeah.
like, this is like Ned's era. This is like right in that time frame. It was probably filmed in 2005. So Ned's ran from 2004 to 2007, I think, or 2005 to 2007. So this is like right in there.
Mhm. Okay.
That
Yeah,
time
and then,
frame. So
and then the
yeah.
main the father, Reed Callum, that guy, he was in The Office.
He's
He was
in everything. He was in Hero. This is like Hero's era. He was like a what's her face's dad, Hayden Panettiere's dad, right?
I don't know.
She?
I never
wasn't it?
saw.
Pretty sure. Oh, you never saw Heroes?
Mm-mm.
That's a good show. The first season was a good show.
But he was the
least.
senator. He played the senator in The Office. He was there for like a few
Right,
seasons. He
yes.
would make a little, episode appearance every now and then.
Yep.
But,
Yes, you have real actors in this, which is kind of fun.
Okay, so what do you think about our love interests in this
Though
movie?
this might be one of the worst love stories ever told.
Well, let's start off. Let's
Because
start off with
it
the
isn't
main.
one.
What's the guy? What's the name of the guy who has on the farm? I don't know his name.
It's like Jackson, right? Isn't his name Jackson?
No, but it
Hold
should
on.
be.
It should be. Yeah. No, what is
Classic
his actual
Jackson
name?
move.
Jackson as that is 100% what his name is.
Oh,
The boy who works on the farm's name is Jackson Mead.
oh shoot. Mead.
Yeah, see, I was right. Baby. Jackson Mead. Yeah.
Well, so he's the farm boy. They even at a certain scene they gave him the nice red and black plaid sleeveless
Yep. Oh yeah.
style.
The classic farmer.
look.
They also have an extended shot with him with his shirt off, which I thought was a little like, I mean, I was like, look, I know girls are going to be
Mhm.
watching this, but do we really need that to be that long?
This
Like,
is for the tween audience, for real. Cowbells.
it is. Th-
Spoiled ass brats watch this movie and learn a lesson. Yeah.
I guess so. Or they want those girls to learn a lesson because most of them are not as well off as
Yeah.
the cowbells themselves. So,
So, I mean, so this guy, they don't really have any sort of chemistry whatsoever. Him and
zero.
and Taylor, And then there's weird
Zero
scenes.
chemistry.
The scenes like where they never got together because she like fell asleep or whatever. So
So
they never met up.
He never made like anything. He never made any indication at any time that he was interested in her until the movie demanded that he be interested in her.
Yeah, right.
It was like all of a sudden he's like,
Well,
he's got a shirt off and he's like looking in front of the mirror. He's trying different shirts. And
yeah.
I've got flowers. He waits in the same seat for an hour and 15 minutes. I'm like, bro, give up. After the first 20, you know she's not coming.
But then it's kind of funny how like then when she went to his house, it like immediately went into like he had to run off or something, and they were just immediately holding hands. They were in it.
Okay,
Boom.
he had to run off because the cow was giving birth. Yeah. She came and was like, okay, so like first scene with them together was like her having to ask him to get lessons to know how to do stick shift.
Right,
he was teaching her in his
truck. Forgot she wrecked his whole truck
she wrecked his truck, and she didn't really get in all that much trouble for it.
Nope.
Though we do have this amazing scene where Reed does a spit take at the dinner table. Like that's how the scene transitions. I kind of like that. Was kind of fun. I like that. That was pretty funny. Actually.
Yeah, as if that was like the craziest amount of money he has to pay. Like he was dishing out, he was handing out $25,000, and he's like, it's gonna be $9,000 or something. That
it wasn't even that.
Drew the line.
It wasn't even that. It was something like $3,500.
Oh yeah, it was even lower.
It was like what? That's like a normal thing. That's like almost nothing. But yeah, so already she shows like a little interest because he's like, oh, I want to check on the cow, and so she shows like a little interest in like, oh, he's tending to the cows. So like he has like maybe like a little bit of like, oh, she's showing interest in that. That's kind of nice, sort of. But then she immediately wrecks his car, his truck. So it's like, okay, that's immediately next time that they're trying to get to know each other. It's like she's calling him to like pay for the something. Oh yeah, she needs to give him the money for the repairs.
Yeah.
I guess there's another scene before that. There is. The scene is like the money's gonna be I'll have the money, and he's like, oh, do you have it? And she's like, actually, I can bring it over to you. And then immediately they're like suddenly interested in each other, even though they both seemed to hate each other until the dinner conversation between the two sisters where she was like, he's kind of hot, and she's like, oh yeah, he is hot. And then immediately it was like, now I'm interested in him. I'm like, that's.
But then when he didn't show, or when she didn't show up, he's like, just send the check in the mail. But then she shows up, and that's where we get this interaction.
And then he's not in the movie for like a half hour after that.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't go over immediately to make up to him. She instead tries to call on his phone, like goes through his dad, and then like 2 or 3 more days go by. It's and she doesn't do anything about it.
I've been in a deep sleep.
Yeah. I've just been unconscious. Let me tell you.
You're not gonna believe this, but I have been to sleep for 3 days. All right. And then they're like
I
immediately.
Have to admit this to you. I have narcolepsy.
Yeah. I did like the little moment where his dad like answered the phone from her, and the guy's like, "I'm not here," and he's like, "He says he's not here." I
like that too. That was a very like dad. That was like the closest thing we get to like a wholesome dad relationship, because I didn't really buy his relationship with his daughters like at all. The main dad, Reed, I think his name was.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't buy that at all. Like it was just like, you're spoiling them rotten, and you don't seem to learn your lesson by the end of it either. Not really.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
But
yeah, he's not the best father figure for sure. Yeah, it could be worse, but yeah, so they're immediately holding hands. When did they do
after the birth of the cow.
When did the kiss come up? The first kiss.
It was then. Yeah, it was it was the most awkward thing in the world. Because it was like she was going to apologize. Then it's like, oh, we gotta go tend to the pregnant cow. and then it like that scene happens with the pregnant cow and stuff, and she gives birth
Yes.
to a little
Yes,
calf,
yes. And then
and
it
then she's like,
cuts. She's in a new outfit. Outfit change.
she's in it, she's in like his
I
clothes,
know.
and they're holding hands.
It's
I was
like,
like, what
what
happened?
happened out
I was like,
there?
there's like 2 scenes in the movie that are just gone. I was like, what?
That's what it was. Yeah, that was crazy to me. And he was in the same
It was
outfit.
so weird. He was.
I
It was just like, yeah,
don't know why she
whatever. But that
needed to
was so.
change. I mean, did something happen that we didn't say? What's going on here out in the hay?
Did that? Was there some afterbirth that happened? Did she get all ick?
Oh
Maybe there was
yeah.
an afterbirth scene filmed, and then Disney was like, we can't film that. We can't put this on the TV. And then
But the
because it's
guy
too
who's
gross.
right there, he didn't get anything on him. He's
He didn't
fine.
get it.
Well,
Yeah.
or I mean,
No.
she's
No.
a
He's
she's a girly
no.
girl.
He's fine.
So,
But
yeah.
he's a farmer. He's
That's
used
right.
to it. You know.
She's a
He'll
girly
be all
girl.
right
You
with
gotta
it.
get that dress off you. It's drenched.
Yeah. You're drenched with the amniotic fluids.
Yeah. But yeah, the kiss here. What I found weird about this also is that later he makes a move as if he's making a first kiss again. It's like they forgot they had a first kiss.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't wait for I miss my dad. I wish he was here. And he was like, not right this second though, because then I wouldn't be able to work up the courage to do this. And he goes in for a kiss. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
He did it
why
again.
do you have to work up?
It
You
was
have to work up the
so
courage
awkward.
again. You already ripped the Band-Aid off before.
Yeah.
Now
It
you're
was
on the
weird.
couch.
I don't know.
But now this is our first couch kiss. I wouldn't be able to do this without him.
That one was also weird. Their date was so strange to me.
What?
I was like, am I to imagine that this of the salt of the earth, not salt of the, that's not the right term. This like with it 2006 hip teen with a cell phone and the like super fashionista. She's really into like thousands of dollars dresses, whatever. Am I expected to imagine that she's to sit there and watch a like I don't know if that was Jimmy Stewart or not. It seemed like it was to me. Like it was like, oh well, I was trying to figure that out, but I couldn't see the definition. It's like a standard definition film that was shot in widescreen, so it was like super blurred. I couldn't even tell what was going on. But so I was trying to figure out. I was like, why are they watching an old black and white movie? Like, what is this? What is this? It's like, what are they doing? Like they're not like I don't know playing video games or something. I think my favorite character in the whole movie was the autistic kid. That I loved him. I was like, yo, he's my boy. Where he's like, they go to the country club and he's like, yeah, whatever. Like, yeah, oh yeah, I do have a foreign exchange student. So they also prey on a on a high functioning autistic kid. They never to be clear, they never state that outright in the movie that he is. He just shows every single sign of being that, where he's socially awkward. He can't like pick up on normal social cues. And he's talking about things that only he really cares about instead of what everyone else is talking about. Which is like, yeah, those are typical traits of that. He's a little unusual, and I loved him though. He was great. He was like, yeah, I don't know, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm playing video games or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
that's right.
but do you have a foreign exchange student friend? Is like, oh yeah, I do have one of those. Let me go get him. This is
yeah. No, we have to talk about Philippe. The love interest for Courtney here. Yeah, he's a lot. He's lovely.
So did you think? So this was something that I was expecting, having seen other DComs. I was expecting Philippe to be in on the scheme.
Oh.
In it, like he was like a guy that was like on the like he was like a. I was thinking it was going to have something to do with his partner was like in a lot of debt, and Philippe was like a guy who was going to make sure that that the partner fixed the books the right way to make it look like he got away with all the money, to make it look like the other guy stole all the money. I thought he was gonna, especially because we see that scene where he's like typing on the keyboard. I thought that was gonna like come back, like, oh, the girls are gonna like go into the books, and the math whiz girl is gonna like look, and she's gonna figure out, oh, he's been cooking the books, like he's been like I was maybe thinking it was too Breaking Bad or something, but like I thought it was gonna be more interesting.
That would be fair,
and like more of the elements were actually gonna come into play, and none of that came into play.
Yeah, because he's just all in whatever she wants. He's like, whatever. I'm gonna make you.
Yeah,
I want you to feel special. We'll do your dance regardless. All this.
yeah,
Saying all the right things, even though I don't.
yeah.
It doesn't necessarily feel like he believes it when he says it. You know.
No, yeah, that's what I mean. It felt to me like, oh, he's gonna be like a fake act, like an actor, like he's playing a, like he's
He
like,
doesn't even
ooh,
have
he's
the.
like, but he's
He's
actually
not
like
even
a,
French.
yeah, he doesn't even have the accent. Exactly,
Yeah.
that's such a decom trope. I was like, this, it's like a kids movie thing. I
He's
love
like,
that, and then they didn't do that.
well, Courtney. Seems you're finally gonna learn
Yeah,
your lesson.
yeah. I thought there was gonna be like more of like a scheming plot, but it was really just a whole lot of nothing.
It was just they were. He was cool. He was a cool guy.
Yeah, he's just a cool guy, I guess. At the end of the
Pretty
day,
cool. And they were gonna have this
um,
spotlight dance one way or another. They keep trying. They're like, we're gonna do the spotlight dance at the actual dance. No, okay, we'll do it here. No, okay, but Dad's gonna make it happen in the end for the grand finale. You gotta have your spotlight dance. Go ahead. So, yeah, there's not much depth to his character there.
no,
Now,
not really. I like how their spot against in the end was just they turned some headlights on
yeah,
and
that's the
probably
spotlight.
blinded everyone who was there.
Yeah, that's the cowbell's way.
Yeah.
Now we have to talk about the iconic scene where Melvin is confronted by the entire workforce of the dairy farm. They're like, our checks are bouncing.
Oh, this is the best. I love this scene. This scene was this is to me that is the most iconic scene in the movie.
Like what the? It like
Yeah.
implies
The
that
checks are-
this man is directly paying every single person like from his own money. He's like he made
Our
off with
checks are
our
bouncing.
money.
Yeah, they think he's like doing something wrong. He's like, look, I'm trying my best, everybody. Like he's like really like a kind of a nebbish little guy. Like he's trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, that can't be true. It's like we got like 25 people
Okay.
here saying they can't get their money.
He's such a good guy. He couldn't have done such a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was wild. And then
That was
also, it ultimately led to the like when they got their money.
Mhm.
When Taylor got them their money, there was such a big celebration, and I was just thinking, wow, I've never seen people so excited to get the money they were already owed. They're not getting any extra money. They're like, yes,
not
we
getting
got
extra.
paid what we already worked
Yeah.
for. Everybody was celebrating
Yeah,
and
it was like
popping off.
yeah, it was like I felt that when people were like look, if I'm not working anymore
Yeah.
if I didn't get paid. Like I'm like, yeah, I do the same thing. I'd be like, I'm not working. You kidding me? You
But
need to
then
pay me.
you do definitely have this couple of people in every job that will be like, no, let's keep working, guys. We're gonna go fall behind on the inventory, or or production.
Yeah, well, see, to me, that was the part of the movie that I liked. I like the adult side of things where it's like that is like something that's like of a concern when you work in like an industry like this where you have to be concerned about like your buyers and your clients and everything like that. You have to have all that. So it does add this like extra amount of drama where it's like, yeah, the people, but of course they're not actually focusing on any of that. So none of that actually matters to the plot. But that was the thing that I found interesting about it. Cause it's like, yeah, if you were in that position, you would feel both of those things at the same time. But like I would come down to the side of like, look, it's not my problem that you didn't pay me.
Right.
That's
Well,
your problem.
yeah.
You need to fix that. And I'm not working for you. Screw the deliveries.
Yeah.
You have to fix this. And you have to fix it now. And everyone was just kind of like, okay, we'll go along with it, whatever,
But why weren't they able to contact Reed again? What was the reason for that?
Because he was in such a remote area that his cell phone didn't work. I guess he didn't get an international plan, which he 100% could have afforded.
Right. Well, this
but
guy
yeah.
set him up on this trip, probably specifically. I gotta get
Yeah.
him to this remote location so they won't be able to contact him, and I can just go steal all his money. Right. Mid sentence, huh? Man, never seen a bathroom trip hit like that. So I was gonna say the whole sister drama that was still going on as Taylor has been like for a long time now figured out maybe we should be a little selfless here and start working on a solution. Courtney's still been out of shape over this damn party, and it was just so annoying to me. It's such an annoying plot line we had to go through.
Yeah, what was the thing that like convinced her? It was just like seeing her friend be like more poor than she is, I think was the thing that snapped her out of it. Which is like, what? That's what we're going with? It was Christian Serratos being poorer than she was.
No, I feel like wasn't there something right before that tipped her off, like tipped her towards that because when she got there, she was like kind of like it's okay, you know, whatever. It's like she had already kind of been turned around on it.
I don't know. There might have been. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to remember now.
No, because someone before her was it Taylor that said, "Do you ever stop to think about anyone but yourself?" Like the very direct question.
That was She had said that directly, yes, and then she was like, "Screw you," basically, and then
Christian Serratos says the same exact question, even after like,
the same thing. Okay. Yeah. I also like the fact that she called her life just a little fairy tale. But it was like, yeah, you're right. It's right down to her mother being dead, you know, when she was a little kid.
Yeah. But yeah, they really were painting Courtney to have like no redeemable qualities here. It took a long time before she finally decided to start doing something. And then I really hated how not only she took so long, but then it was just boom. All right, I get it. I'm gonna be selfless now. But then she goes over to the spoiled brat friends that she has, and tries to get them to come work for the dairy farm because they need more people. And then they actually come through in the end. They had an overnight change of heart. Boom.
It wasn't even overnight. It was like a 20-minute. Yeah,
after
change
you
of heart,
left,
basically.
we thought about it. We're like, oh yeah, you're right. We should stop.
She's got a good point.
Being selfish forever.
I'm like, you people are all like 15.
And then your dad came and picked us up or something. Or I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, what?
I don't know. They just ran into him at some point. It was very random.
Well, because
he went to the country club.
Because he thought that was going to be. Yeah, he thought that was going on. Why did he all of a sudden change his mind? Also, I don't even. That's another thing I don't understand. He explained it, but I don't even remember what he explained. He's
why did he come back?
Yeah,
he was just like, I realized this is where I wanted to be. I was thinking about my girls and realized that this is where I really want to be right now. And he just decided to come back. And and then he went to the country club. And he was looking for them.
That's what I mean. Is that's every motivation, every like thing that is like driving a character is the weakest possible motivation you could think of.
Yeah, there's no actual character progression here. You know, it's just overnight. We're gonna stop being a bad person and be a good person. We realized that's actually the way to go. And even down to like Taylor going and getting that random guy, the guy to buy her car. She was like, I'll sell you the car. I could really use the money right now. And he's like, I only have $9,000. And she's like, all right, deal. It's like, okay, well, I guess that's easy for you to do when you didn't actually buy the car to begin with. I guess we just sell it for any amount.
Was that car her mom's car too? So another bit of her mom is just disappearing.
Oh my god,
that was what her dad is. Yeah, I saw that when it happened. She didn't say anything about this. This is my mom's car or anything like that. There was nothing about that.
I forgot about that. I completely forgot about that detail because he had spruced up that car.
Yeah.
And then, just like that. But all right, $9,000. All right, that's all you got. Cool.
Yeah, cool. All right, let's go for it.
And then she uses that money, of course, to get fresh milk as a very wholesome cause, but also like you didn't pay for the car to begin with, so I don't think you really are in a position to just go sell it for any amount, and also not even care about the actual value of it.
I think what I hated the most about the like drama is that everything was like it was all like the same level of stuff happening at the factory that was just like, oh, it's another wrinkle. It's like what was the first thing is like, oh, we're not getting paid. Okay. So they solved that. Then the next thing is, oh, the milk went bad. All the milk spoiled. We don't have any milk now. And then it was, oh, nothing's accepting it because it says on the label that it's expired because Courtney screwed up the like labeling process, which is like It's like the stupidest thing. I was like, come on.
It's the perfect
It's like
storm
everything
here.
just felt like the exact same. It's just like everything felt like the exact same sort of like level of like. There's nothing heightened. That's not like a in any sort of way. It just sort of felt like all kind of the same kind of melange of business troubles. Like that's it. That's like, and I don't know. I hated that. I hated that it was all like the same feeling kind of problems every single time.
It's the
And then the
perfect
solution was
storm
always
of
just,
the issues.
yeah,
A disaster in this dairy factory, all to ultimately lead up to the big climax of Reed being there, and he's like, "Did someone say they need help?" And he has this whole army of teenagers there with him.
yeah, to help
And he
somehow.
had some older people there too, just random people.
Yeah.
I guess he got from this country
It's
club.
just this is anyone who was willing to help out, I guess, just for some
Again, like
selfless reason.
again, like
It's not like he's gonna pay them.
everybody can just pitch in. Um, everyone pitch in. We need like 25 extra men. They were saying basically, but
Yeah.
you know, we saw with the sisters, you don't get any training. You just kind of wing it. You fly by the seat of your pants. So everybody can just go in there and just figure it out. Fuck around, maybe fuck up
Yeah,
some
they're gonna give
yogurts
like band-aids and like fingernails and stuff are
yeah.
gonna be in the yogurt.
Yeah, it's like, and then by the way, I mean, you said he's not going to pay these guys, but I'm pretty sure all these people were still in the mix at the time where he's like, I'm going to, as long as I'm in business, I'm going to make sure all you
Oh
have
yeah.
jobs.
Yeah,
So he
that's
just
right.
had to,
So
he
he
had to
guaranteed
get
jobs for
25
them.
new jobs or something at least.
He just made 25 new jobs. It's just like that.
He's like, we'll make
That's
some
pretty
room
great.
on
It's pretty
the
generous.
production line and move over. We'll get a couple more people on those lids,
Yeah.
you know. But now
Yeah,
suddenly, after all this, now he's very strapped for cash. You know, now it's very much we got to be
yeah.
conservative with our spending. You know, before I was giving out $25,000 left and right. Now, nothing. You know, it's
Well, I also felt like there really wasn't that much of a consequence because he's like, "Oh, we're basically broke. We don't have any money." And I'm like,
we're broke.
"Okay, sell your multi-million dollar house and downsize then." But there wasn't any indication that they were like, "Where's like the I don't know the fraud claims? Like you can track this
Right, this
money.
guy he's like, it's gone.
This guy just got away scot free." So I discovered there's an alternate ending to this movie.
Whoa.
The girls are like, we did a little digging and we found that he's in, or I think it was like we found like receipts for like a flight to like Reno or something like that. And he was like gambling at like some casino or something. He's caught on some like security
And then they
footage
go
that
kill
they
him like the
somehow
end of
have
the
access
Hated in
to.
the Nation Black Mirror episode. They go out and kill him like
Yeah,
vigilante style.
yeah, they'll go do that. It'll be sick.
They found him in a
And so
casino.
yeah, and then they're like, cool, we caught him. So that scene takes place, instead of him getting in, like waking up and like just getting to his car, he like walks into his office and they're in his office basically like, we found this, daddy, here we go, we gotta blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay, cool, but you girls are still, I mean, he's like, but I've had to work. And they're like, oh, we'll come with you. He's like, but you don't need to. And they're like, but we want to. And then the movie ends more or less the same way, but that adds like an extra like hey, here's what happened to this guy, instead of just ending with like none of their problems being resolved.
He
And
just disappeared. Yeah, he did. He committed the crime off screen and then disappeared, never to be seen on the movie again.
which is, I just that DComs have such interesting, wacky, goofy villains sometimes. I mean, we watched the whole suite of Halloween Town. We've got some pretty outlandish, goofy villains in those.
Mm-hmm.
You have like what, like Xenon Girl of the 21st Century. You've got like some like, you know, you have some like sinister plots going on in those.
Yeah.
But like this is like nothing. He just disappears. He's not in the movie. He's in the movie for like the first 20 minutes and is just gone. It's so bizarre.
The perfect
I
crime.
don't,
What can I say? Get him out of there.
like it would have been more interesting if he'd spent more time there and like built up more of a been more of a,
Wait,
again,
how
the
much
foreign
did he
exchange
steal?
student being like hundreds of thousands of dollars, I think.
All right.
So I don't know.
He just got out of there. That's all. That's all you gotta do.
Just pieced, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so apparently they didn't have insurance for you know, grand theft or anything like that. They didn't have any. They didn't have any sort
No,
of. Um, you know.
he's winging it every day. He's winging it every day there, and God bless him for it.
Yeah.
All right, anything else for this
Well,
for cowbells?
what was the cover? What was the song cover they did at the end? Oh, taking care of business.
Yeah,
And taking care of business, and then there was another cover they did at the end too. I'm trying to remember what that one was with the dance number.
I don't remember it.
Maybe that wasn't a cover. Maybe that was an original song. I don't know.
I was
But
so
yeah,
like
they did taking
over
care of
this movie
business.
by the end of it. I was like, I don't really care.
Yeah. Well, especially because like the weird, there was a weird point. Like I think it was that point when they all of a sudden holding hands. Scenes just happened with like no build up to any of it. It was just like, oh, I guess they're together now, and it was like just scenes kept happening like that, where it's like
Mhm.
the same sort of thing with I don't know, the rich girl's confronting her at the country club because she was a guest of the other people or something. I don't know. Um, I love the twirl me, Philippe, twirl me right now,
That's right.
twirl me, Philippe, twirl me right now. That made me laugh, but
Hmm.
yeah, this movie was not good.
All right. So we'll do our final
Yeah.
score here.
All right.
All right. Final scores for cowbells. Three, two,
Okay.
one. Flip. I got 3.5. Tarqaron score 3.25. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think to me, I was sort of like I wasn't really quite thinking like I was thinking of the funnier aspects of it that I enjoyed, like the adults, but like that's not really most of the movie. Most of the movie is just ass. It's just not good.
Yeah.
It's the thing too that's very weird. I think there's like other Disney Channel movies that came out right around the same period of time that are almost the exact same like idea of like a plot. Like rich girls learn their lesson to be more generous
Yeah.
or to be like more thinking of others. Um, which is just like was that like a big theme? Like, did this need to be a big
Right.
theme for this
So
period of
in
time? Like,
all my
I don't get
decom
that.
experience, I've never had one be this boring to me. Actually, this is like the most boring one I can remember.
It was kind of boring. Yeah, it was actually a little surprising how boring it was. But that's why I think that's because we didn't really have a villain. You know, like the villain did everything off screen.
And I
Like
mean,
I felt like
yeah,
he would have made it more interesting if he was like more involved in the plot. Like I said, I almost felt like I was thinking that they're gonna start working there, and then they're gonna discover like a plot to like steal the money or something, and they're gonna like undercover this. And so the one girl's got the math skills, the other girl's got like some more observational like of fashion skills or something like that. I don't know, but they would pool their resources together. But no,
yeah.
that didn't happen. It's just all of those things kind of flatlined. It was a flat line through most of it. So
It was
yeah,
like the
very
Taylor
dull.
had like a math thing. Yeah, she had like some math
Yeah,
skills. Courtney was just like she
but
knew some people, and I guess she just
yeah,
used those connections. That's what her thing was, but
yeah. It's just like it was. Yeah,
seen that much. But I would say, obviously, I don't know if it needs to be said, but we weren't exactly the target demographic for this movie. But it,
no,
and
but
it's, I don't think it's trying to do anything
I,
especially courageous. But
but I'm gonna tell you a decom
yeah,
that I'm not the target demographic for that I really like a lot, and that's Geek Charming.
Geek
I like that
Charming.
movie a lot.
I don't know if I've seen that
Um,
one. It's one of the. Some of these
it's
are the ones I
it's like
don't know by name.
2010s. It's like 2010, 2011 ish. It's in that kind of time range.
Hmm.
It has Sarah Hyland, I think is her name. She was the girl in one of the girls in Modern Family.
Okay.
I think it's Modern Family, right? I believe. Um, and that movie is about like she's kind of a spoiled girl. She's like the popular girl. She's sort of spoiled, but she sort of learns like to it's like basically a guy's like he's like I'm gonna write an article on her. He's gonna like make like a documentary on her. It's like the life of a spoiled popular rich kid or whatever. and he's like a total like film nerd, like nerd kind of thing. And then she's like her thing is like, I'm gonna turn him into like a hunk kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, that doesn't look
to me,
familiar.
there's just like a lot of really good of like them like teaching each other lessons. It's just like it's such an there's a lot of chemistry in that movie. They both, I would say that both performances of the young actors both have a lot of chemistry. The romance is kind of cute. There's other side romances and plots going on that are also kind of cute and kind of fun. Yeah, I mean, that's a much better kind of idea. The concept of like rich person learns to be a better person, like, or whatever. Selfish person learns to be a better person, like that kind of idea, which a lot of these e-coms kind of tend to have like a concept or an idea like that in there. Does this like 15 times better. Like, I hope that shows up on a wheel spin because I've seen that before and I really like that movie. So I am 100% not the target demographic for that movie. A 32-year-old single guy, that movie is geared towards like a 12 or 13-year-old girl.
Yeah.
But I still really liked it. It's a pretty good movie, all things considered. So, yeah.
There you have it, though. It's
yeah,
not a good one, but
No.
that's kicking off
No.
our chaos month here.
Yes.
Stay tuned. We'll have 3 more coming. 3 more chance times back to back to back weeks. So hopefully
That's
we get
right.
something good. Something good.
Yeah, please. Did we say that was a Tarqaron combined score of 3.25? You probably
Yeah.
did, but
3.25.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Stinker.
we'll be
That's for
doing
sure.
another wheel spin right after this video. So stay tuned. And we'll
Yeah,
keep
it'll
moving.
be good.
More chaos along the way.
Yeah.
In the meantime, what video would you recommend our viewers watch next?
Go check out our go watch episode 13 of the Tarqaron podcast.
Oh, okay. The
Yeah,
most
it
recent
just
episode.
came up recently as of us recording. We got a little bit deep, a bit philosophical, maybe a little tad religious in there too. The thumbnail of which you indicate some of that. So yeah, it was good. It was a good fun discussion, and yeah.
All right, check it out. And then
Yeah.
also hit subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want more like it. Absolutely hit the like button. Leave a comment, and if you do, we always read it on the episode of the Tarqaron podcast, the next one that we do.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hit that notification bell and take care of yourself.